I had some requests to kind of do some basic repair information with tools that you have at home. And I felt like I wanted to say, you know, you can do jewelry repairs with things that you have at home. But if you're planning to always be prepared to do repairs, I would advise just getting the tools that you need to do it, or slowly if you don't want to spend a lot of money. I'll email out to you guys. I put together a place where you can get the basic tools that you need, and I'll show you the around the house tools that we're going to use tonight, and then I'll show you what I use so that, you know, you can make a decision if you want to go and invest in some pliers or whatever. And then if I don't cover the kind of repair that may be on your mind tonight, then just ask me your specific situation, because every piece of jewelry, it seems like, is made differently. So I'm going to teach you the most common thing, which you probably are mostly already familiar with. And then, you know, if you have questions about other types of jewelry, I have two situations on a necklace to show you. So I want to show you how you can put together a necklace with a pair of tweezers. You can use 2 pair of tweezers. You need heavy duty tweezers. You need 2 objects. I'm going to use tweezers, and my husband happens to have some needle nose pliers. I'm pretty sure that's a common piece of equipment or tool around the house, either one of these, but you got to have 2. The thing that is challenging and why you only want to use this, you know, occasionally, is because it's harder to grip onto this thing I'm going to show you, which is called a jump ring. This will do it okay, but tweezers are a little hard, but in a pinch you can do this. So, and then I'll show you my tools after I'm done with it. But basically, mostly the building blocks of jewelry is what they call a jump ring. You know, just the little ring that attaches things together. It could have a clasp on it. It could be actually what the clasp goes into. It can hold together links of a necklace. But the main thing about reattaching with a jump ring is the way that you bend the ring to open it. So let me see if I can get this close enough. I really worked today, set my computer up so that hopefully you can see what I'm showing you. And I'm wearing this shirt so that this has some contrast. But this little tiny ring has a split in it. And if you need to buy jump rings, do you guys have Hobby Lobby in Tennessee, Carrie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Love Hobby Lobby.
Okay. I like to go to Hobby Lobby to get stuff because you can get small amounts, and about once every 1 or 2 months they have a 50% off sale. So you don't have to invest a lot of money. I gave you a resource on the resource list to get some jump rings on Amazon of various sizes and colors, but they're more expensive. So it's better if you can just go to Hobby Lobby. Michael's is another place we have out here. I don't know if you have that, Carrie.
Yep.
Michael's different stuff. They can be a little more expensive. So I like to go to Hobby Lobby on the sale. But basically, so I don't think you can see this, but the split in this ring, there's always a split in them because you got to be able to open it to attach anything. And you're going to put your pliers perpendicular to the opening. The opening is right here, and it's going to be in the middle between your 2 devices, whatever you're using. And the thing that you want to do is twist the opposite way with your hands, like this kind of motion. So there's 2 reasons for that. Number one, if you bend the ring open, it's really hard to get it round again, and oftentimes it won't line up. But also, if you bend it open, it compromises the strength of the jump ring. So these are designed to twist. So all you do is you get your tweezers on there and hold your pliers and you twist. And now I think you can you see how that's open?
I can see that, yeah.
So then you can put anything on it. So right now I have this necklace. I'm going to sell it at Shop the Box. Sometimes I do rescues. This is a cool necklace because look at it, it's thick over here and thin over here. It gradually gets skinnier on one side. And it has the little hole where the clasp goes through, but it doesn't have a clasp. Actually, let's see. Before I do that, I just brought this out, just a chain to show you simply attaching. You know, I mean, you guys can figure this out, right? It's not rocket science. You just attach both ends. because these are the building blocks of a necklace, you know, then you just twist back the other way. And again, not as easy with tweezers, but you can do it. So sometimes the jump ring, it bumps into itself and it doesn't quite close evenly. So let me see if you can see that.
Yeah.
See that that's uneven? So what I do is I go like this. I just go on top of both and flatten it out, and it gets even. You can go back and forth too, like I was showing you, do that ever so gentle motion back and forth until you can see. And now you might be saying, how the heck am I going to see that, Lace? So I chose a big jump ring because I wanted to be able to see it, but I actually wear, this is what I wear to do my jewelry repairs.
For whatever reason, Pete has one of those.
Yeah, they're awesome, but they're $40. So on your supply list, I gave you a link on Amazon to these, and you both wear glasses, so that's good. They're just $5 and they clip onto your glasses because you got to use both hands, right? Like I have a magnifying glass, but I need both hands. So these little glasses are like $5.99, and you can just clip them on and use them when you need to.
Oh, okay.
Now that I showed you, you can use needle nose pliers. You can also use, this is a little tougher. Do you know what this is?
Toenail clippers.
Yeah, I call them cuticle clippers, but I use these a lot in my jewelry making, like a ton. I clip wire. They're super sharp. And I can clip wire and leather lanyard, and I sometimes hold jump rings with it if I'm like really tiny, really thin.
Never thought about using those. That's funny.
Yeah, so you can do that. The only thing that's why this is not a fan favorite with me is it can put a mark in the ring. Of course, the jump rings are often so tiny, who cares? No one's going to see it. So this is one other tool that you can use. But if you were going to invest in some pliers to do jewelry repairs, you can pick them up for about $10 at Hobby Lobby. Again, if you wait until they have the 50% off, then you're spending $5 a pair. If you were to decide to do that, I would advise that you see how these are bent? I have needle nose who are straight and needle nose who are bent. You can do straight and straight like I just did, but it's so much easier to see when one of them goes like this, if that makes sense. So that's what I would advise you do. I gave you links to these on Amazon, but again, you could get them cheaper at Hobby Lobby if you decide you want that. And these are the basics, jump rings and 2 pairs of pliers, and you can fix just about any old thing. But you can also use your toenail cutters, your needle nose pliers, and your tweezers in a pinch for if you just do a repair once a year kind of thing. The other thing that happens a lot is beaded necklaces get torn apart. And the whole, what do I want to say, engineering of how the jump rings work, it's the same for anything that you're attaching. So, you know, these beads, when I do beads, this is basically a straight bar that goes through here, and they make a loop on each end. And one of those ends goes into the bead, and one is loose. So it's the same concept where you find the loose end, and let me put on my eyeballs. The loose end, you know, you just bend it out. Again, you're going with that, I'm going to pull the bead this way and pull the wire that way. Okay, and see how it came out? Let's see if you can see how it came out. So now I can just go hook this on, and then you do the opposite. So I'm going to pull the bead this way and push the wire that way. And sometimes I kind of squish it together to make sure that it's not going to come out. You know how, I mean, often these come unhooked for this very reason, that it's not really tightly closed. So I try to tightly close it. And there we have it. So the clasps for a necklace are easy to find too. I don't have a package to show you, but they come in maybe packages of 12 or 20. And you would do the same thing. So let me get a jump ring here. And I thought I had a clasp out. Here. Sometimes they come like this where the jump ring is actually on the clasp. That's handy. I like that. If not, you buy them separate, but you'll see when you see the package. And easy to do. Looking for that line. It's on my eyeballs again.
So stylish.
Isn't it? Don't I look official? Yeah, so there it is again. But it's got the lobster claw clasp on it. And I'm pressing opposite direction, putting it on my necklace here and the last link, coming back the other way. And when you have these on, or those glasses I told you about, it becomes easier to kind of go back and forth like this and kind of push into each other so that they get really flush. And that just makes sure that the chain doesn't come out again. So, you know, basically it's the same method for attaching the clasp. And if you wanted to, a lot of people don't like these holes. I mean, it's like, what do they say that? I don't know. It's very hard to aim and, you know, get through there. So you can replace this with what I just showed you with a ring, and it'll be a lot easier to close. I like rings to put the hooks through. This is called the lobster claw clasp. So pretty simple, right? Is there anything that you have experience that is different than that or might require some different strategy?
Well, I had the problem with getting the rings to line up again.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, I think, do you think those glasses would help you, or is it just a matter of the tools?
I think I was pulling them instead of twisting.
Okay.
And so now I've got a twist.
Yeah.
And that works better. But that was the big thing. But, you know, because I was pulling them apart, I think.
Yeah. And when you're coming back, sort of ever so gently pushing the ends toward each other, because like I said, if they overlap like this, and then you take your pliers and kind of squish on it, they'll pop together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then this is going to be harder to show you, but I was going to just show you real quick how to replace a rhinestone. Have you ever tried to replace a rhinestone?
No, I have a necklace that I could do it on if I knew how to do it. But.
Yeah. Okay. it's not hard, but you know, again, it's a matter of having the right tools and stuff. Let's see. Let me look at my list here. I talked to you about that. Okay. So what you need for this in terms of household items is a toothpick. You can use Post-its or double-sided tape. And this is just to pick up your little gem because they're really hard to place with your big old fingers. And then again, a magnifying glass. Now this is one area where you don't need the glasses. It's nice if you have it, but you could technically do this with, you know, a magnifying glass in one hand.
Rhinestone back there.
Oh, you got something you wanted to ask about?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a piece of jewelry.
Yeah, I've got. I know you can't see it. It's a Sorelli necklace that Pete bought me. You've heard of Sorelli, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's beautiful.
It is so pretty. And so, yeah, the rings need to be put back together. And I think I can do it just the way you showed, because that's exactly what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Rings have come off. But yeah, it's a very pretty necklace. I love it.
It needs a rescue.
Yes, it definitely does need a rescue. Can you see it? Am I showing it to you?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah. But that's the main thing, is that it's the hooks on it. And I haven't worn it lately because, you know. So I have my handy dandy maintenance man here watching with me.
You're not going to use your tweezers and your needle nose pliers?
He's got them, definitely. So yeah, I ran to get that really quick because I was like, okay, how is that broke? So now I know how to fix it.
Yeah. And probably the hardest part is going to be, is it silver or graphite? It looks like it's kind of a dark finish.
It is. It's more graphite. Yeah, it's not silver.
You can probably find those at Hobby Lobby, but if you can't, Amazon will have them. I think it's called graphite.
I'll have to take me. I'll probably take that necklace with me and go to Hobby Lobby and see, and just to make sure I get the right size.
Yeah, yeah. So
Fabulous.
We were just starting to talk about rhinestones and replacing rhinestones. Your home tools are toothpicks.
Love that.
Post-its or double-sided tape, and your magnifying glass, because you don't necessarily need 2 hands to place a rhinestone. Although I like to do it with my glasses on. It's just hands-free is better. The hardest part about replacing a rhinestone is getting a rhinestone that's the right size. I've only been doing this 6 years, but in those 6 years, I still struggle to measure rhinestones. So they do have them at Hobby Lobby. There's places, actually I didn't give this to you on the supply list, but I can give you the pro places to get rhinestones. There's one in Arizona that actually is not very expensive, but again, if you don't know the size, it's kind of hard. They come in centimeters. And if you had something you wanted to repair and you wanted to shoot a picture and say, hey, Lacey, what size do you think this is? I could give you probably a ballpark for you to look in, but they come in, centimeters. So the other thing that you would need, and this is not something, maybe something you have at home, but I doubt it, is this glue, E6000.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I've had it.
Yeah, so it's poisonous if you eat it. So just don't eat it.
Don't eat it. No danger.
And a lot of people go, I don't want to use this, it's poisonous. It's absolutely the best thing for jewelry. Absolutely the best. There's a number of reasons for that. It's sort of rubbery. It's forgiving. If you misplace something on a piece of jewelry, you will be able to get it out most often, especially on little things like rhinestones. It dries clear. If there's residue around when it dries, it's easy to, this is what I mostly use this for, is getting off extra little glue pieces that are showing on a piece that I've glued a rhinestone in. If I need to remove it, I can. There's a lot of rhinestone glues that it's permanent. So if you need to, like for me, sometimes I'll replace something with a temporary stone till I find the one I really need. And so anyway, it's nice to be able to remove stuff. And once it dries, again, unless you eat it, it's not really any danger. It takes 24 hours to fully dry, but it's dry pretty much to the touch within an hour or two. So you can conceivably, there are times where I glue in a replacement rhinestone for Shop the Box and I take a picture an hour later and it's solidly in there. So the other thing, so the tool that I use that I'm assuming you wouldn't have, but I don't know, maybe you do, is a dental pick. We're going to use a toothpick instead. But these are awesome, and I gave you this on the resource list because they're so cheap, and they work really well to place the glue in a little tiny spot. So let's see if I'm going to be able to do this because this is so tiny. I didn't have anything with a huge rhinestone, but this is going to be a Shop the Box item. It's missing a little tiny rhinestone here, and I also want to show you that E6000 comes in these little tubes. And if you don't use, I use a lot, so that's good for me. But for you guys, you can get them in the little tubes, and then you're not really wasting a whole tube. It lasts a good long time, but so let me open up one of these little guys. And you got to poke it in the top to get it going. And I always keep paper towels close by. If it gets on my hands, it's pretty sticky, gooey stuff. So I always try to wipe it off wherever I get it on. And so I just bubble it up on the top here and rub my toothpick across the top. And then I put the lid back on so that doesn't dry out. And the toothpick allows you to precisely place the glue where you need it. So I don't know if you guys can see that spot, but it's pretty dark right there. So you can see it's obviously missing something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I just put my toothpick in there and kind of twirl it and the glue gets in there. And if there's a little bit outside the setting, it's okay because like I said, it's very easy, especially if you have these, and I'm pretty sure you both do, to get off the extra glue. So then what you're going to do with your handy dandy, what do you want me to use? A Post-it or magnetic tape?
Yeah, use Post-it.
Okay. Okay, so the reason I'm telling you this is it's so much easier to place a stone when it's stuck to something and you can see the point on the bottom than trying to get this stuck to your finger and then it falls on the floor and your dog eats it, or you know how that goes, right? Or you're like on the floor for 10 hours looking for your rhinestone. Not fun. You're having a bad day. So see, it sticks on there really easily. And what I use, the pro version of this, is a wax stick. And they actually have these in a more pro version for people who like to put rhinestones on their fingernails. And I gave you a link to that. They're like pencils. And you just sharpen it. Every time it gets unsticky, you sharpen it down and there's more wax. It's wax on the end. And it will just stick to a rhinestone and you can look at it and place it wherever you want.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so now, okay, I need this, okay. There, that spot go. Okay, we got glue in there. And then you can easily match up the hole, especially with your magnified eyes on, and the rhinestone into the hole. And once you do that, kind of wipe it this way so that the stone wants to come off of your Post-it. And then I use the end of the toothpick to just dab it in there. And we're fixed.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So what's cool is, like I said, this glue, I mean, every other rhinestone glue I've encountered, you'd have to like set this like this and make sure it doesn't move, you know, because the rhinestone would drip out. E6000 is tacky, so it'll stay there. I'm not going to go, you know, swing it around like a tetherball or anything, but it'll stay in there and I can just lay it down flat and it'll stay and dry within an hour or two to be aware of.
Perfect. What about rhinestones like in the necklace I was showing you, like when that has prongs?
Yeah, so so you can use your tweezers or your needle nose pliers to pull those prongs out. You have to be real careful. Prongs break easily on all kinds of jewelry, high end and low end. I glue the prong sets anyway. I'm fascinated by the jewelry makers who can prong set a rhinestone and it stays, because the setting, if you look at it really closely, the rhinestone edge is actually bigger than the setting. That's how it makes it stay there, and then the prongs go out and over. So I cheat.
Yeah, glue.
I put glue in there, and I let it dry, and then I bend the prongs back.
I don't think I bent the prongs back before when I've tried to fix one. I think I just super glued it.
Yeah, and super glue works, but it yellows after a while.
And I was going to say, you know, if you mess up, you've got to do it quickly, or you're stuck.
It's permanent. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's all I was going to share with you guys. Is there anything else I could be helpful with, or something I didn't share that I should have?
I think that's very helpful for me.
Okay.
No, it's very, very helpful for me. Thank you.
And if you guys ever get stuck, just email me and go, hey, I'm working on this and it's not working out. I want to tell you guys about a few things, and you guys are lucky because you're the only two here, and I'm having a drawing.
Am I going to get hate mail from Tennessee now?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so I made these earrings. They're emerald green, pretty sizable rhinestones in these little sort of bronzy settings. They have the lever back hooks. So I'm going to give them to you with your next order. So I know you both are bidding and stuff. Pick a number between 1 and 100.
Um, 57.
75.
Oh, you guys are going to make me do my math. The number is 63. That looks backwards to you?
No, that's
right.
No.
So you're closer.
Okay.
Oop.
So, Carrie, you're closer?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Oh, yeah, she's the accountant.
I'm sitting here counting on my fingers.
Okay, Carrie, you get a pair of emerald green earrings.
Aw, thanks,
Yay.
Lacey.
Yeah, no problem. So next month, on the second Monday, I'm going to do Janet had said I really wish she would do a upstyling vintage pieces like brooches, making necklaces and bracelets.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll figure out something like that. I'm offering to resell people's used jewelry. If you're interested in that, let me know and I'll send you all the particulars. If I get a bunch of people who are takers on that, then instead of Shop the Box, it'll be just like Shop the Box, but the Besties used jewelry will be up on the Jewelry Adoption Boutique.
That's cute. I like that.
Between July 19th and July 21st. And let's see. The deadline to send jewelry for that is July 1st, so you got a whole month. So think about if you want to do that.
Yeah,
And then,
send me
huh?
Send me the link on that. I might have some things that, I have gotten my wear out of them and I want to share it with, somebody else. Not that I don't like good stuff, but, sometimes you just like, this isn't my style anymore. So, yes.
Yeah, you'll like my introduction on my page that talks about the program because it basically says it's not that you don't love your jewelry anymore. You just have a new best friend, So one last thing, I did that survey with all the besties. Thank you all for participating. I got about 35 responses, and there's a lot of besties that missed the live Shop the Box. So I'm going to do one a week from Wednesday, kind of saving the higher end vintage stuff for that. It'll be another Zoom. It'll be interesting. I don't actually know how it's going to go, but we'll try it. I don't know if you guys remember, but we had some challenges with the bidding and stuff on the Facebook Live. We won't have that on here because there's a chat function here that Dean will monitor. And Zoom is really good about real time and in order of comments. Actually won't matter in an auction style, but we won't miss anything. So we'll try it out and see if you guys like it. I think it'll be fun to experiment with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try it.
Okay, ladies. Anything else?
Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for hopping on.
See, nice to meet you.
Take care. Stay safe.
All
Bye,
right.
besties.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.